Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Greetings from College Dunia. I would like to inform our viewers that Dr. Asif Zamir, sir, is the Dean of IMT CDL program. He has an experience of over 30 years, which includes 16 years of rich industry exposure and 14 years of teaching experience. He has published several research papers in reputed international and national journals and has presented his work in various national and international forums. And we are truly privileged to have him on a leadership series, Thoughtful Leaders. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me for this interaction.
So, sir, as the Dean of IMT CDL program, can you throw some light on its genesis?
See, we have got over 30 years of legacy of management education through online, through distance mode. Initially, distance learning was a subunit of IMT Ghaziabad, and it was created to provide quality management education to those students who lack the means, whether time or money, or who don't have access to full-time management education system. So we are one of the pioneers in India in management education through distance mode. And initially, this mode was completely through correspondence-based method because there was no technology platform at that time. Gradually, IMT Center for Distance Learning matured into a standalone entity on its own with its own identity and its own campus. Now we are a part of IMT Group, but we are a complete profit center, separate SBU, you can say, for IMT. And IMT Center for Distance Learning is completely on its own. Parallelly, we have been monitored by different regulators of the government based on the regulation changes which have happened over time, because government has been experimenting a lot with distance education in the last almost 2 decades. Initially, we were under Distance Education Bureau, which was under the aegis of IGNOU, because IGNOU was the champion university for distance education. Gradually, many other universities started giving distance education. So this power was almost taken away from IGNOU, that IGNOU being a university cannot regulate other universities. So then it was pulled and given to UGC, and all the distance learning systems were governed by something known as DEC, Distance Education Council, which was under UGC. Now, since 2018, standalone autonomous institutes like IMT CDL, which are not part of any university system, have been taken out of UGC and given to AICTE. So from 2018, now we are being regulated by AICTE. Obviously, these changes have adversely impacted our national footprint and number of students. The operating model. For example, at one time we had a lot of franchisee systems across the country. We had footprints and we had 13,000, 14,000 students. But AICTE does not allow franchisees. So we had to cut down on numbers. So this is the genesis of what IMT CDL is all about.
That's really great to know, sir. Sir, amidst this lockdown, what are your plans for the upcoming batch in terms of induction and classes?
Fortunately, technology has developed, especially in education sector, to a great extent, and we have best technology support from Adobe and Microsoft with us. So obviously, all the classes are anyway going online right now. We really don't have the luxury of any physical face-to-face classes. So our induction and further classes in the near future will all be online. Now, AICTE has given us the approval for the July 2020 sessions only on 24th of June, and the end date is somewhere around 30th of August. So we have to close our admissions during this time, and then post that immediately we plan our orientation, and then online classes will start.
Okay. Sir, how this COVID is impacting your overall admission?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. See, and I like to answer that in some detail. Not much, but still, you need to understand. Uh, we are seeing a bipolar kind of impact of COVID-19 on our admissions. On one hand, there's a large number of freshers who are showing a strong inclination towards open and distance learning. Yeah, the perception of this mode is very safe and very cost effective, and that's also pushing many parents to convince their wards to go for uh, online education. Uh, and Anyway, most of the big full-time institutions are anyway also have to adopt online. So online is becoming a very acceptable norm of education for in the fresher community. On the other side, many of our actually almost 40% or 50% of our students were working professionals because we have distance program has always had an attraction for people who are working. And because of this COVID situation, most of the working executives are right now jittery about their jobs, about their incomes, about future of the next 6 months of their lives. So we find less number of inquiries coming from working professionals during this time. They want to preserve their cash in hand and preserve their status, and rather than looking at any developmental phase at this time. So it's a both kinds of situation. From outside, it looks that very large number of people would be interested in open and distance learning. Yes, it is there, but it's not that much, and so it's really balancing out right now for us.
Rightly said, sir.
Yeah.
How diverse is your current batch of students in terms of gender ratio?
See, we have been monitoring our gender ratio all for the last 3 years. Right now, we have 37% females and 63% males. And this number has been almost consistent in the last 3 years, which I know of. We really don't do anything specific for genders in our admissions because it is open and distance learning. In principle, it is gender neutral because it's like a democratic process for everybody. So we really cannot give more weightage to females or males. So we really don't give any extra weightage or any kind of credit for being a female or being a male. This is a natural kind of a number which comes to us. But on the other side, we try to promote diversity in our group through other mechanisms. For example, by giving fee concession to underprivileged, uh, for example, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, physically challenged people, retired defense personnel, or widows. So we have got and certain backward areas. So we have got these specified criteria and categories on our website. It's there. So they are encouraged to join us by giving them a concession in fees. That's the only kind of thing we do for diversity in our group.
That's really good to know, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what do you think are the advantages of digital learning over the traditional or let's say offline education?
Okay. See, one is obvious advantage is that the student's convenience of studying anytime at anywhere. Now, the other thing that we need to understand is technology is a great leveler. Traditional management education is rather elitist in nature because it accepts people who are above a certain level of intellect and most importantly who have got the means to pay that hefty amount of fee for a two-year full-time course, anywhere between 15 to 30 lakhs depending on the category of the institute. Now, digital learning is a level playing field, which is actually leading to what we call as democratization of education. Education which is meant for all, nobody is denied. Education because they are from a modest background or they don't understand English so well or they don't score 95 percentiles in their exam. There is no examination for for us in terms of qualifying. You don't have to pass through a filter of a entrance exam. So digital, the next point is digital learning allows students from all part of the country, urban, rural, uh, rich, poor, gender neutral, with less time and money uh, to access education. And a very big advantage of digital over traditional is cloud based archive and retrieval facility of the for the students. All lectures, all PPTs, all resources are recorded and stored on a cloud or on a LMS, which is known as Learner Management System, and they can 24 by 7 at their own convenience they can access it. So digital is actually that way a very big level playing field for everybody. That's my yeah.
Rightly said, sir. So, what are the future plans in terms of number of courses? Like, are you planning to, start new courses or something?
Okay, I'll like to answer this in two buckets. One bucket is the AICTE approved programs. Right? Since we are regulated by AICTE, so AICTE until we get a program approved from AICTE, we cannot run it as an AICTE approved program. Right now, we are running 3 full-time programs, not full-time. That's a wrong word which I say. 3 programs from AICTE approved baskets. So one is the 2-year PGDM, one is 15 months PGDM for executive, and a 13 months PGCM, which means postgraduate certificate in management. This year, our regulator AICTE has given us large number of seats. So our short-term strategy is to fulfill these seats first, because we have got a significant increase in intake. So right now our entire focus for July and January is market penetration and market development. With the existing kind of programs, we want to first fulfill the seat criteria which AICTE has given us. And once we are stable with these programs at the higher level of numbers, we'll apply for new programs which can only happen in the next academic year. That's one side of the story. The other side is non-AICTE short-term programs. We already have launched many niche area programs which are need of the market kind of programs. For example, in talent analytics or big data analytics with different knowledge partners. And we have many other in the pipeline. So these range from 3 months to 9 months at different price points, and they are for specific audience. So that's another kind of bucket in which we keep on adding more programs. AICTE bucket is a different ballgame. It has to go through regulator, and it can only be done at the starting of the application process. So next year when we apply, and if we are comfortable with these 3 existing programs, and we feel that now we are ready to take another program, then we go there. So I hope you understand these points. AICTE and non-AICTE. Non-AICTE, we are flexible and we are adding a lot of programs.
That's really great to know, sir. Sir, what are your views on the concept of online PGDBM program, and what background is required to be a right fit for that program?
Okay. I would say that online PGDM is a great product in the sense that management education has adapted to technology-based delivery much more happily and readily than other disciplines. For example, engineering, which is still struggling to how to use technology to deliver the content. Right? Management education has been more adaptive, and because we anyway were using a lot of case studies and videos and illustrations in our regular classes, they have been more. So today we are a complete multimedia kind of institute, and we use all kind of media devices and tools to create knowledge and deliver knowledge to our students. And fortunately, technology, there was always this misconception, even in my mind, because I came from a background of full-time classes, that the experience in full time classes is very very superior to online. It's actually a myth. And today technology has improved to such a level that it's able to uh, be at par with physical classes in terms of quality of experience, and in some cases it may be even more because of this 24 by 7 access to material at your convenience, your workplace. And then it is very safe today. COVID times has also shown us that online is probably the safest method. Everybody is why the world is going online for that purpose. So I think online PGDM is a great product. Online itself is very very suited to management education because you really don't have much lab work, which probably prohibits or inhibits disciplines like engineering or sciences or medical to go for online. Ours is more of a conceptual and application based discussion and peer to peer learning, which is very easily adapted to technology. So yeah, that's my response to it.
Rightly said, sir. Sir, what do you think are the USPs of your online program?
See, IMT CDL, there are two or three key differentiators that we work on. One is the quality of our learning material. There's a very important piece of connect between any ODL institute and the student. That is the course material, the text. Because most of the students in open and distance learning don't attend classes so much, synchronous classes. They work more on asynchronous material because of their time constraints and probably remote access and other things. And ODL system is meant for those who want to work on their own pace, right? So the quality of our text and the material that we have developed is by far the superior, most superior among. And I am saying, not saying because I am dean for IMT CDL, but I monitor the material given by other competitors in this, and I can vouch for it that the kind of effort and investment that we make into making our material very rich to such an extent that probably the student does not require a teacher support. It should be completely self-explanatory. They can do their self-evaluation. That's one aspect which is one of the key differentiators. Second is our LMS, which is a very multimedia rich 24 by 7 access to the students for all the archives of PPTs, MCQs, e-resources, video recorded lectures. Everything is there all the time. And then our 24 by 7 student support. Because when you have got thousands of students logging into the system, and students who are not connected physically to the institute, a lot of queries come. Every student has a lot of queries, and many of the students are not really so much conversant with technological platforms to upload assignments seamlessly or book exams seamlessly. So they require a lot of counseling and student support, and we have got a very very strong student support. Actually, we are working towards, that's our mission, which I like to tell. We want to become a zero grievance institute, which means any complaint, it's not a complaint, any query which comes should be resolved within a specified time without any complaint coming back from that student that my query was not resolved satisfactorily. So we are working towards something known as in our policy called zero grievance institute.
That's really great to know.
So these are two or three key differentiators which I would like to say.
Sir, what are your expectations from the students who are going to be the part of this family from this year onwards?
Okay. I would expect any student who comes to open and distance learning program, first they should have an open mind to learn and follow the guidelines and instructions given from time to time, because physical classes automatically create discipline. Here the discipline has to be created by the learner. So the onus in open and distance programs is more on learner than on the teacher. We will do our bit sitting in front of camera, giving our lectures, and then we'll move away. But it is all those learners who have to take the best out of this. They have to follow the guidelines of exam bookings and assignments and whatever. So we expect them to be completely in tune with the guidelines given and instructions given from the institute time to time. Do everything on time and go out painlessly and with flying colors. That's my basic expectation.
That's really good, sir. Sir, at last, what would be your suggestion or message to the students who are aspiring to join this program?
See, some of the points which I have already answered in the earlier question, but I'll now explain it further. I want to tell the students, and my message to all of them who want to join an open and distance learning program is that don't think this is only a route to an easy degree. No, you have to see it as a highly learner oriented ecosystem which is giving you the opportunity to learn and upskill yourself at a very, very low cost and at a very, very convenient way of education at your own place, your own pace, without disturbing your work schedule, without disturbing your family's schedule. So, and the ODL mode at IMT CDL is designed for that learner centric environment. We provide the complete ecosystem of faculty, resources, 24 by 7 student support, but it is up to you, the learner, how much you extract for your own professional and personal benefit out of that. And I only say that once you join here, understand the quality that we are giving, see the value the program provides to you in terms of your knowledge, upskilling, and growth. And then once you pass out, be a flag bearer of IMT CDL brand.
That's really great to know, sir. Sir, this discussion was really insightful. I hope the viewers here learn a lot from it. Thank you for your time, sir.
I'm absolutely sure that the learners will benefit out of that, and I'm also thankful to your platform for allowing me this interaction virtually with potential learners, and I wish you all the best and more traffic to your site, and more people should be able to see the quality and inherent advantages of open and distance learning. Thank you.